Oh, action. I guess we're on. I'm reviewing Step Brothers. I'm adding to the gathering of garbage of the 2008 collection of junk. And yes, I'm reviewing Step Brothers in that 2008 mix. So this joined up with Pineapple Express, Don't Mess with the Zohan, Role Models came out. So this kind of ties into all that junk. So yeah, so I'll be reviewing Step Brothers. And this stars John C. Reilly, Mary Steenburgen, Richard Jenkins, who else? Oh boy, I already forgot the guy's name. Oh yes, Adam Scott. And then the overrated comedian, one of the worst actors, worst George Bush impression ever, worst Saturday Night Live star, worst over actor, Will Ferrell is also in this. He is the worst everything. As you can tell, I already have a problem with this movie. So, okay, yes, so I'm reviewing another bad one this week. We're not off to a good weekend. So the whole thing with this movie is Mary Steenburgen and Richard Jenkins are in church. Yes, they're talking about family values. And what do they do after church? They have playtime after church. That's what they decide to do. They decide to have a play date. And then afterwards they have pillow talk. And they talk about their loser children. 2008 must have been...
I thought they would do that during it.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Thank you for reminding me.
So glad I went to work at that time.
It was during. You're right. It was during. Yes, and then they just say, oh, by the way, I have a 39-year-old son who still lives at home. Oh, me too. Oh, okay. Good. This is 2008. Must have been the loser is cool mentality for people. So, yes, okay. Two people that are 39 living at home, both immature. I mean, how is this possible that they both have this in common? But they do. And then they end up getting married. And Will Ferrell, being annoying, gets up and then leaves. They show John C. Reilly, which I am so sorry that I have to dog on this guy for this movie. Because for the most part, I do like him. He was very good in some of his other roles in For Love of the Game, A Perfect Storm. He was not bad in Days of Thunder. He was in Talladega Nights, so I guess he was okay, fine. So he made that bad one. But Gangs of New York, he was in that. Winning Time, I love that show. He played Dr. Bus in that. He was fantastic in that. And in this, I'm very sorry to say, he was even part of the writers in this. Will Ferrell was in this, and I believe Tom McKay wrote this, and he also wrote Talladega Nights. I have to see who directed this. I thought I just read that Judd Apatow did this with Jimmy Miller. They probably did Knocked Up and a few of those other bad movies. So Step Brothers. Okay, so I will show the first picture now before I start dogging on Will Ferrell's performance too much. And here is the first picture of how it all begins.
Rushing me.
Okay, so as you can see, this is when they're doing their makeout section after church.
Section?
Yes.
Not session? Section?
Session after church. They must be conservative Republicans being hypocritical after church. So yes, so this is how it all begins, and then, like I said, this is how they talk about the two sons. And I don't remember when she talks about her other son making fun of Will Ferrell, but we'll get to that point. We'll get to that next. All right, I will show you the next picture. I'm sorry, I had to give cookies to my father-in-law. So, yes, these are the two freeloading children. This is John C. Reilly plays Dale Doback, who I don't know what the obsession with this director using the name Dale is, but he used it in Pineapple Express, and now this piece of garbage. And yes, as we all know, the tall, blundering idiot in the background is Will Ferrell, and that is Brendan, whatever his last name is. The point is he's annoying. They're both annoying. And I really, really do hate dogging on John C. Reilly. I really, really, really do. So this scene here, John C. Reilly is showing off his drum set that he plays, not for money. Oh, and there's also a fantasy baseball joke that they told at the dinner table. Dale says that he manages a baseball team, and then Will Ferrell's mom chimes in and says, "Oh, is it a little league team?" And he says, "No, it's a fantasy baseball team." So we have the fantasy sports joke, which is in all of Judd Apatow's movies, which is a really middle school level joke. So
Why don't you tell us how you really feel about this movie?
believe me, I'm just warming up. I haven't yet. This is me just warming up. There's a little bit more here to show, and it doesn't even get better. It gets worse than this. Okay, next picture. Okay, I lied. So every bad movie does have its moment, and I wish this happened in real life. I wish John C. Reilly kicked Will Ferrell off the boat, and I wish a shark came by and just ripped him to shreds. But that wouldn't happen because the sharks... See, the thing is, Will Ferrell is safe here because he can kick and scream, and sharks will be so annoyed they'll just swim away. They might actually go after John C. Reilly for polluting the water with Will Ferrell. I mean, this guy he's annoying in every movie he's in. If he's just on a cover of a movie like this one, I will be throwing it out. This movie will be thrown out after my review. That is the spoiler alert. That it's getting tossed in the garbage can. It's not even worth being recycled. Will Ferrell movies are just, the recycling people just say, no, we want to throw this out. And this is something I wish John C. Reilly actually did, is throw him over. This part actually made me laugh. This is the only part. It's when that random act happens. I'll go on to the next picture before I annoy everybody.
Too late.
Okay, so Dale told Will Ferrell Brennan, not to play with his drums. So Brennan ignores him and plays with the drums. Now, in a normal comedy, I might laugh at this. This, I didn't. I just found it very annoying. Will Ferrell just does this in a very annoying way. It wasn't funny. It was just childish looking. Like he's a 39-year-old, 5-year-old or something trying to play the drums. It just looked weird. I don't understand how people can think that this guy is a great comedian, or how this movie can be on a top 50 comedy list. It just gets worse as the movie goes along. So I will find some other stupid picture to show of just bad comedy written by Judd Apatow and Jimmy Miller. Hi, I'm back, and I have a guest. This is Stimpy. He's saying, hey, I want to insult this movie too. So what happens here is they were having a hissy fit outside because Will Ferrell touched Dale's precious drums and put his no-no parts on top of the drums. So they got into a fight outside. So this is where both parents come in and they say, "You guys are 39. It's time to leave and get a job." You know, this should have been done years before this. And of course, Brennan, Will Ferrell, has on a Mountain Dew t-shirt. That figures. It must be the brominated vegetable oil that's messing with his brain. So they pretty much give an ultimatum. You have to get a job or you move out. And Brennan, Will Ferrell, has a successful, annoying older brother named Derek. And Derek insulted him during his high school play. Brennan went to sing a song, and his older, obnoxious brother started chanting, "Brennan has a mangina," which honestly really isn't that funny at all. It was actually annoying and
Disturbing?
once again, it's middle school humor. It really wasn't. I mean, it's happening to Will Ferrell, so in that case, it's funny. But the line was really stupid, and this is just typical bad writing by Will Ferrell and Tim McKay, who is one of the producers and writers for this movie. So I will show you a couple other pictures here. Hopefully, his brother will show up. Here's a painful scene. This is Will Ferrell's older brother, Derek. And they are singing "Sweet Child O' Mine" a cappella in the car, doing a really bad version of the song. And it turns out that I forgot that he won a contest when him and Brennan were in high school doing Vanilla Ice, Ice, Ice Baby. And if you watch the Ninja Turtles 2 movie review, you know that I really hate Vanilla Ice with a passion. And of course the mother says everybody loves Vanilla Ice. That's not realistic at all. There are no parents that like Vanilla Ice. He is not a likable rapper by any means of...
You call him a rapper? A
Sorry.
candy rapper?
I'm sorry. Crapper. That's what Vanilla Ice is. And I'm not putting $1 in the jar for that. So, yes, they are actually singing in the song, and his wife, I'm not going to lie, looks miserable. Now, that part is realistic. I cannot see anybody liking this or being okay with this. Or being okay with him dressing up like Vanilla Ice. And he is a successful real estate agent. I'm not putting $1 in the jar for that either. Okay, so I will show, let's see if there's going to be a picture of them coming up at the dinner table. There might or might not be. I will find out. Well, the cat got me. So, yes, she does look happy right now, and that's because she is going to be cheating on her pathetic husband with Dale. I mean, how bad is her life where she has to cheat on him with a 39-year-old unemployed baby named Dale? How bad is that? It's funny in some ways because, yes, her stupid, ridiculous husband, Vanilla Ice loving husband, is getting cheated on, but it's with Dale. Yes, that is bad.
Yes, please explain.
Oh, okay. So I'm starting to see the 2008 bad humor. So, these guys are starting to like each other a little bit too much. They're starting to do karate in the garage. Then they shake up a soda pop. And then they open the top and watch the pop go up in the air. And like children, they're celebrating. Oh, but it doesn't end there. And then they decide to go into the bathroom and play crisscross with their pee. And then they measure their no-no parts. Yes, I don't understand the humor, but this was the 2008 humor. A couple of my friends did the same thing, and this is no joke. I wish I was joking, but I'm not. They really did pee together at a bonfire.
Good thing you don't talk to them no more.
I'm kind of glad I don't. It was not normal. Me and my other friend were looking at each other and we're like, this is not normal. But where did they get this from? Now I know the inspiration. It's from the Judge Apatow movies and Jimmy Miller movies. That's what it's from. The Step Brothers inspiration, I'm going to call it right now. Okay, let me find another disturbing picture to show you. So the 39-year-old babies asked the parents and step-parents if they can... You're actually going to get up. So the 39-year-old babies are asking if they can build bunk beds in their room so they can have more space for nonsense. But now, what makes this worse is the Mr. Doback makes it clear that they have job interviews. And yes, they should be more focused on that, but nope, they're focused on building bunk beds. So yes, the patheticness just grows and grows and grows. Oh, and I can't wait for the interview because, spoiler alert, Seth Rogen, the fat loser, makes an appearance for this movie. It's just fitting. This is the only thing that Seth Rogen can fit in, is a movie like this. Next picture. Okay, so I was right. This is a disturbing picture. This is them dressed up in tuxedos for their job interview. This very uncomical scene is Will Ferrell having trouble pronouncing the lady's name, and her name is Pam. How does he have trouble with her name, Pam? It's not funny, it's actually obnoxious. And then John C. Reilly just peeks his head out of nowhere and tries to help out with the interview, and it just makes it a chaotic mess. And the only interviewer that likes these guys is when they go to the sporting goods manager, which is Seth I'm Overweight Rogen. And he's the only one out of the bunch that likes them. And that's the only scene he's in, thank God. So that's it. Next picture.
She's in a cave.
This scene is great. They are actually the guy here is just Richard Jenkins, or Mr. Doback is great here. He says, start acting like adults. We're putting the house up on the market, and we're going to get you an apartment, and you have to seek therapy. Will Ferrell should do this in real life. And John C. Reilly should too, for agreeing to write this movie. But yes, he is doing an ultimatum here. They have to get their lives straightened out. Will they do it? Probably not. But let's find out.
Next, action.
So Brennan's brother is selling the his stepdad's and his mother's house. So yes, his annoying brother is stepping in to take care of them. And what makes this movie worse is, yes, the guy that's got that stupid smirk on his face, not looking at the camera, is the very annoying Rob Riggle is also in this movie. So to make matters worse, yes, Rob Riggle is in this. Okay, next annoying picture. So the plan here was for Dale's dad and Will Ferrell's mother were going to go sailing around the world. Well, here's the problem. Dale and Brennan decided to take the boat out. One little issue with that is nobody was steering the boat, so they crashed it. And this leads into a humongous family fight. Let's just say Brennan's mom decided to take the side of Dale and Brennan, and Mr. Doback decided to just lash out at everybody. So yes, this causes a divorce between Dale's dad and Brennan's mom. Okay, so and then what happens is Brennan's brother takes him on his real estate team because if he looks good, Derek looks like a genius. If he fails, then he fires his brother. And he'll enjoy that too. So it's a win-win for him. So let's find out what happens. We're getting... Thank God. Okay, final picture. Here we are. Oh, perfect. Uptown Girls. That's what it says on the drum set. So, as you can see, Brennan's brother did fire him because the band decided to flip out on some random person heckling them. So, Brennan and Dale decide to save the day. Dale does the drums and Brennan sings. So, I guess what happens is they end up somehow saving this event. So, the parents do end up getting back together, and Dale and Brennan do become friends again, or stepbrothers. So that's how the movie ends, and yes, Derek does end up making up with Brennan. Big deal.
Still a douche.
And Dale ends up, that's $1. And
No,
Dale
it's not.
does end up having fun with Derek's wife. So that is how this ends. And yes, my favorite part of this movie is when the credits rolled. So that does conclude the movie. And boy, what would I give this one? Ooh, a Z minus. I think I'd give it a Z minus. Yes, the last letter of the alphabet with a minus next to it. This movie was horrible. It was annoying. It was stupid. It was dumb. I'm glad I didn't see this in theaters.
Snooze fest.
I would well, it kept me awake, just not in a good way. And yes, I did buy this on eBay for I think $2.50. So, and I bought it from I think it was sale.com, which is a good person to go through. Her movies are pretty reasonable, but I would be careful because this movie was just awful. It was probably, this is a movie that you would see in a yard sale in a free bin. That's how bad this is. So yes, write your comments below and thank you for watching. I will see you next time with hopefully something better.